Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie and this is Unity Consciousness. Today we're going to be discussing the energy that'll be prominent this week, beginning today, the 27th of December, and running through the weekend. I have to tell you, I'm so excited. It feels like we really turned a corner, and I think the energy as we discuss all of the energies that are coming in this week and how optimistic that if you're not feeling it now, you most certainly will by the time we ring in the new year. So let's get started. Late Tuesday here in the Americas, or early on Wednesday, depending on where you're at on the planet, Jupiter is going to enter Pisces. And Jupiter is the planet of gifts and luck and expansion. And Pisces is everything, intuition, psychic abilities, but also compassion and heart-centered consciousness. So we got a taste of Jupiter in Pisces last year. Mid-May through the end of, I believe it was the end of July, Pisces, Jupiter was in Pisces, and then it retrograded back into Aquarius again. So we had a taste or a sampling of this energy. So think back to the end of May and all of June and part of July. Think about what those times were like for you. What was expanding in your consciousness at that time? Because that same energy is going to come in Tuesday, Wednesday of this week and be with us until the 10th of May. And then it's going to move into, Jupiter's going to enter Aries, and then it's going to go retrograde and go back into Pisces in October through the end of the year. So we may know what this energy is going to feel like. I certainly do, and I do recall the events from last year, and I'm super excited about it. It was a lot of very good, optimistic. I was able to travel and be a little bit more adventurous, seemingly lucky, that sort of thing. Now, when Jupiter was in Aquarius, just prior to this, we may have not had that same feeling of expansion, only because we had Saturn in Aquarius also. So Saturn's going to be restrictive of some of this energy. So they were somewhat working against each other. So this move from Jupiter from Aquarius into Pisces is definitely going to feel much more expansive than what we have felt over the past year. That's for sure. So we can expect, again, an expansion of compassion, feelings of compassion, charitability, either on the giving or receiving end of charity, heart-centered consciousness. It may be, I keep getting over and over again, opening yourself up to receive blessings also. So you may be being expanded to receive. If you have had a great deal of constriction in your life, maybe it's time for those constrictions to start making sense to you, and then some expansion just shortly thereafter. Now, on Wednesday, which again, if you're in the Americas, Tuesday is when Jupiter entered Pisces late, but on Wednesday, we also have Mercury's going to enter shadow. So yep, it's Mercury retrograde season again. And Mercury is in an area of Capricorn where it is also surrounded by the Sun, Pluto, and Venus. And Mercury is going to make connections with Venus, which is retrograde, and then Pluto. So it's almost like a triple conjunction, if you will, of energies that are going to be happening, relatively close to each other. And then we've got Mars, which is in Sagittarius, is going to be sextile Saturn in Aquarius. Again, this is the same day. So this is Wednesday. A lot of energy going on this day. And Mars sextile Saturn is going to activate that Saturn-Uranus square that we've been feeling over the course of this year. It is not happenstance, it's not by chance that we are reviewing this energy that was so prominent over 2021 as the year comes to a close. So with Mars activating the Saturn-Uranus square, it helps us to start making sense of some of these things that have been constricting to us. So as well, like I mentioned, Mercury enters shadow on the same day. So I really feel like Mercury retrograde season is going to be our time to begin to make sense of the constraints that we felt in 2021 relative to the Saturn-Uranus square. Mercury is mental processing, right? It's movement. So we are going to be able to begin to process. Sometimes when you're in the thick of things, your mental processes as well as your intuition can be blocked or stymied because you're just in the thick of it. So now that we've had our third and final exact square of this configuration, we're starting to move away from it, but Mercury's going to go retrograde, and it's going to go retrograde in a way that's going to allow us to go back to some of these moments of restriction, but bringing in the clarity that mental processing allows for us. So that some of these restrictions that we have had that were so frustrating will begin to clear up, but we're going to make practical use of what we've learned. Saturn, while it may bring constraints or restrictions, it's there for purpose. It's there for us to learn something. So now with Mercury stepping into this retrograde cycle, specific in Capricorn and then Aquarius and then back again, it is allowing us to make practical use of the restrictions that we've first processing it and then making practical use of those restrictions so that we can move forward enlightened or wise, more wise because of these restrictions that we've had. So, you know, it's going to ask us to define where we're putting our energy. Where did we find ourselves spinning? Where did we give great importance to things that really, when the sun set on the year, really didn't matter? Maybe we were following false illusion. Maybe we were believing something that was an overinflated sense of something. But now we've got that clarity that's necessary so that we are able to move forward, take those lessons, take those restrictions, understand why they were in place. Were some of them self-imposed because of the manner in which you're processing things? And then moving forward with a transformational, especially when Mercury starts dancing with Pluto here this week, what transformations are we willing to make relative to our energies, our mental processes, any manipulation of our emotions? Where are we putting that energy? And truly, is it rooted in basics? Is it rooted in foundational principles? If not, we can just let go of it and move on. If it has been, if it's shifted our principles, if it's shifted our foundations, allowing us to transform and really function at a higher level of consciousness, then now we are ready to move forward with all of those lessons learned and do so with a rapid pace. So let's move forward to the 31st, New Year's Eve. We've got the moon is going to be in Sagittarius. I love this moon on New Year's Eve because Sagittarius is so optimistic. And so that means our emotions are going to be very optimistic. And use this time, whether you're by yourself or you're with others, out in public, whatever suits you without any imposition of thought or idea from anyone else, whatever suits you on this day. Make sure that it has a flair of foreign aspect. Do something that you've never done before. Try a different food, a foreign food. Make a phone call to somebody that's at the complete opposite side of the earth, if you know somebody that's on the globe in a completely different foreign atmosphere from yours, because I think that this is going to be really exciting and optimistic. So that's New Year's Eve. And then on the January 1st, we've got a brand new year. So excited. We can take all of the lessons learned in 2021 relative to our Saturn-Uranus square, but all the retrograde cycles that we've been through, and now we can begin to apply them towards this wonderful new energy that's coming in for us. So on the 1st, we've got the sun, which is in Capricorn, is going to trine Uranus. Very cool. Uranus is still retrograde for another couple of weeks in Taurus, and they meet at 11 degrees of Capricorn and Taurus. So because we're talking Uranus here, so it's the sun, it's I, me, my energy, things relative to me as a person, positive aspects. It's a trine, so it is very positive, and this is sudden changes in your circumstances. And allowing us to be extremely optimistic relative to our future and how authentic we are in that future, where we find ourselves in that future. We've learned our lessons. We've cycled back. We've pivoted back through all these retrograde cycles, and now it's time for Uranus, which is again retrograde in Taurus, to apply some of this beneficial qualities of moving forward. Again, Uranus is just projecting us forward relatively quickly. We are able to put an end to a lot of the uncertainty here as well. So we're going to get some clarity that comes in with Mercury. Then we've got Uranus that's leveling us up. It's going to push us high and fast real quick. So on the 1st, we're going to begin to see some practical uses of these energies that our mind has brought earlier on in the week that we've been able to take a pivot back and take a look at and then apply them. On the 2nd of January, we've got Mercury is going to enter Aquarius. And remember, Mercury is in shadow. So Mercury is going to enter Aquarius, and then once Mercury retrogrades back into Capricorn and then back into Aquarius again as that retrograde cycle ends. So this is going to be our willingness to move forward as an individual, however, being part of the collective. Right? It's Mercury, so it's mental processes, but it's also it's movement, and we are an individual, but we're part of the collective, and we are moving forward, knowing that there are going to be times of retrograde cycles where we're going to have to pivot back and take some time and take it all in, make some shifts and adjustments, and then move forward a little bit wiser than we were when that process started. So that's exciting. That's in my opinion, I think we've got a lot to look forward to, not only at the time of the new year, but the day following. As well, on this day, we have a new moon in Capricorn. And so we've talked about Capricorn energy. It's, grounded earth energy, foundations, principles, practical uses of things. And with the new moon happening in Capricorn at 12 degrees, we're ready to start something new. This is a new moon. So it's new energies, new ideals, new fresh starts in many different ways, and there are positive aspects to Uranus here. I'm super excited about this too, and the North Node. So things coming in out of the blue, you didn't expect it, that is aligned with your North Node or the greatest good for you, but as well as the collective. There's also a trine here with Neptune in Pisces. Very, very, very positive new moon. So, Uranus can bring about these sudden new developments, and they can really realign your foundation or your principles or the manner in which your life is structured. How exciting, don't you think? I'm super happy about this week. We put in a lot of good hard work this year. We've really tried hard to understand the energies, and now we are being asked to accept and receive some of those benefits as Jupiter moves into Pisces, and then we've got this wonderful new moon that's happening in Capricorn at the end of the week next Sunday. So we're finally getting it. We're finally getting the idea of how this new energy, this new age energy, this higher frequency vibration, how it works, how we have to take time out and apply things, and then be ready for those shifts in consciousness and those leaps forward as they come in. Knowing our frustrations and things that were frustrating to us. A lot of times if we can drop that preconceived frustrating notion and understand that hindsight is going to be 20/20 and allow ourselves to move through this energy, that it'll be a much more simplistic process moving forward. And to trust our intuition here. We've got Jupiter and Pisces, so intuition, feel your way through things. Don't get excited, don't pull the plug, don't jump off a cliff just yet. I mean that in a very light-hearted way. Don't allow yourself to get taken over. Allow yourself to move through the process, feeling it and using that energy to your benefit. So I also want to thank everybody who has been a supporter of mine over, it's been about a year since I've started these videos, so I want to take a moment and thank everyone for their support over the course of this year. I hope that your new year brings everything and anything of benefit to you, and I hope that your Jupiter in Pisces allows that expansion of your intuition so that you can continue to grow at the level and advance in ways that we have seen this year, but in many, many years to come. Thank you so much. If you like this video, please do like it. If you have any comments, please post them in the comment section below. And if there's someone that you feel could be helped by this message, please do share this video with them. Have a fabulous week, a happy new year, and I look forward to seeing you next year. Namaste.